Hello everyone. So this is the resources nutrition video that I wanted to make for my pregnancy. I mentioned it in my last video, and this is going to compile everything that I have been using as a resource, as a guide during my pregnancy. This is my first pregnancy, so this is my first child, and I am somebody who really likes to be thorough and detail oriented and kind of just like all in or nothing kind of person. So this is what I've compiled together and what I have used throughout my entire pregnancy, which has worked for me. A lot of this is research that I've done to see what was okay to consume, take, use on my body, and also it's something that I confirmed and was given the okay by my midwife. So with that being said, let's start with, I have a list because pregnancy brain, I'm gonna forget probably something. Let's start with the things I've used for preventative measures and to support my skin as it's growing and stretching and my belly is expanding, and things I've been using on my body. So in the first trimester, I started off using this Mother's Blend oil, Mother's Special Blend oil. And this has almond oil, coconut oil, cacao butter, and vitamin E. And this worked so well. This is still the same bottle that I have used since the first trimester, and I'm almost to about here now. And that has been really good to keep my skin moisturized, supple, soft, and hydrated. But as my pregnancy progressed and winter months came in, I needed to get something that was a bit more robust and that was gonna continue to like hydrate and moisturize my skin, because my skin started getting really dry as the weather got colder and winter came. So then I switched to, well, I didn't switch to it, I added this on. I still use this. I use this and then I use this, the Earthly body butter. I started to add this. Not body butter, sorry, soothing belly butter. I actually use it all over my body too, so I guess that's why I called it body butter. But this has mango butter, cacao butter, comfrey leaves, grapeseed oil, and rose hip seed oil. And I was specifically looking for something with rose hip seed oil because that is something I use on my face religiously for the past like 10 years, and it's helped me so much maintain the youth and the glow and the just like the softness of my skin. I used to have really bad adult acne, and that's why I started using rose hip seed oil, and it's just done wonders for my skin. It's really highly concentrated in vitamin C, which is really good for brightening, supporting your skin. And then I use this body butter that my doula made, which she put some mango, shea, coconut, and cacao butter in, and some essential oils with ylang-ylang, cedarwood, balance, lavender. And this is a newer addition that I got in my third trimester that I just use as like a moisturizer all over my body. And so far, using all those products, having started with that Mother's Special Blend, my belly looks fabulous. And I am someone who is extremely prone to stretch marks, and I have quite a few stretch marks. So the fact that my belly did not really have stretch marks is like mind-blowing to me. I'm going to give you a belly shot so you can see what I'm talking about. This is my belly. My third trimester, 37-week belly. And it looks solid. I'm really happy with all these oils and butters and all that they're doing to support my skin. Next, let's move on to nutrition. And this is a big one. I really, really wanted to focus a lot on nutrition in this pregnancy because it is so important all the time, but it's even more important when you're pregnant because you're literally growing another human being. And I want to provide the best nutrition to my baby. So I have one thing that I put on topically, and everything else is something I eat or ingest and take internally. So let's start with what I put on topically, which is this Earthly Good Night lotion. And this is a magnesium lotion that I put on at the end of the day right before I go to bed to help me sleep better and to help my body absorb magnesium, because when you're pregnant, your body is using up all your mineral supply and you're getting depleted really fast because you're giving so many minerals over to your baby. And this has been really helpful for me to get my magnesium in and to help me sleep better at night. I did a lot of research in terms of what magnesium to take, and it's like recommended that calm one, but it has natural flavors, citric acid, and again, I don't want to put anything artificial, and I don't even know what natural flavors is. It's such a vague term for who knows what. And I wanted something that was a bit more natural and your skin absorbs things actually better. So I got this magnesium lotion and I use it every day. And this is actually really good because you can actually also put this on your baby as well and continue to use it after you're pregnant, after you're done being pregnant as well. Next, nutrition wise, I didn't go around my house or to my kitchen to gather all the things I take because that's a lot of work, and you could probably tell I'm a little out of breath, and talking already is like working up my breathing to be heavy. And so I just wanted to save myself the work, and I'll just put like screenshots of things that I'm talking about as I'm talking about them. Okay, let's start with prenatal. It's highly recommended that you take a prenatal during pregnancy. No brainer there. I did a lot of research in terms of what prenatal I wanted to take. And I wanted something that was natural, organic, as close to whole plant-based food sourced as possible. And after my research, I decided to take the Garden of Life, I think it's called Garden of Life, Kind Organics, Raw Code Prenatal. And I started taking that about 2 months before I conceived. And by no means was I really on top of it, if I'm being honest. But once I got pregnant, that's the prenatal I decided to take, and I took that till about 10 weeks. And at the 10-week mark, I got so sick and tired of it because it made me so nauseous. The smell of the pills made me gag and so nauseous, so I had to stop taking it. And at that point, I had to find another prenatal. And so the another prenatal that I decided to take is not really a traditional prenatal. I reached out to my friend who's an herbalist, and he recommended for a prenatal I take a superfood green powder. And he recommended a specific brand, Health Force. I think the brand is called Health Force. But it's called Vitamin Mineral Greens, and it has a bunch of green powders like dulse, nori, moringa, alfalfa, amla berry, spirulina, and that's my prenatal. I've been taking that ever since 10 weeks, and I take 2 tablespoons of it every single day in either orange juice, water, or a smoothie. And that has worked really, really well for me. And I wanted to go ahead and do some research and see if any other pregnant women have taken this and if it was safe to take during pregnancy. So I searched on Reddit, on iHerb, on VitaCost, and then I confirmed it with my midwife, and yes, it is safe to take during pregnancy, and other women have taken it, and it's been really supportive and helpful for them in their pregnancy. And it keeps you regular because it has all these like potent, powerful herbs in it that are greens. So if you don't end up eating a green salad that day, or are not eating your greens, that's another way to get your greens in because it's a completely green superfood. So I really enjoy doing that. And then next thing I take along with that is a whole foods vitamin C, not fake vitamin C, which is ascorbic acid, a whole foods vitamin C. That was really, really important to me. Something that was bioavailable, something that was in nature. So I decided on the perfect supplements, acerola cherry powder. and that has a really high amount of vitamin C, but it also has bioflavonoids, which is something you want to take during your pregnancy because it helps maintain the integrity and the quality of your amniotic sac. That was very important to me. I wanted to make sure my bag of waters was strong and healthy, and vitamin C helps support that, along with wild blueberries, because it's the dark color, that carotenoids or bioflavonoids in that, which really help the amniotic sac maintain its integrity. So, and this is vitamin C has helped me with my immune system this entire pregnancy, providing me like really good nourishment for my immunity, and it's been really good. So I usually put the vitamin green and vitamin C acerola cherry powder in a smoothie with wild blueberries, a banana, coconut water. Sometimes I'll do mango, hemp seeds, chia seeds, or flax seeds to get the DHA in, and that's a smoothie I have had almost every day my entire pregnancy. So for DHA, which is something else you need to take during your pregnancy, I decided to take it from the food source. So the way I do it is hemp seeds, chia seeds, and flax seeds, which have your omega-3s and omega-6s, which is what DHA is. So that's how I get that in. Next, I take something I started taking in my 3rd trimester to help with my iron and hemoglobin levels, which is Earthly's Energy Plus Iron Supplement, which has yellow dock, dandelion, I don't know what else, but it's a herbal form of iron, which helps your body absorb iron, and that's how I've decided to supplement my iron during this pregnancy, and it's worked really well. Next thing that was recommended by my midwife was chloroxygen, which is basically chlorophyll, liquid chlorophyll, which helps your hemoglobin levels as your blood volume increases, because your blood volume is increasing to 30 to 40% by your 3rd trimester, and it helps to keep your blood oxygenated and your body produce more red blood cells and hemoglobin. So that's been something I take as well. Next is Brazil nuts. And this was like an intuitive thing that I just decided to take, and I ended up finding out Brazil nuts are really good for your thyroid and help support your thyroid, which is something you want to do during pregnancy, is support your thyroid. And the other thing that's really good for thyroid support is dulse, which is in that vitamin green powder that I take as my prenatal. So I take 2 Brazil nuts a day. Next is mineral drops. Again, replenishing your body of the minerals that it's losing because you're growing a baby and the baby's taking the minerals from you. I decided on the Anderson MD mineral drops, which is mostly made of magnesium and a few other minerals, trace minerals. It's like a trace mineral thing, and I just put it in my water and I drink that in my water throughout the day. And I try to have about 3.5 liters of water a day, which is a lot to consume, especially as your belly's growing, your stomach is shrinking. It's like you pick water or you pick food. And so I put it in this gigantic, super gigantic tumbler, which I got off of Amazon, and something with the straw. As soon as I switched over to something with the straw, I started drinking more water because it was a lot easier for me to drink the water. So this is something that I would highly recommend you get, is a tumbler with a straw that you can just, count your water in. So I drink 3 of these a day. I'm supposed to be drinking 3.5 a day, which is about a gallon now at 37 weeks. But I put the mineral drops in here and I drink this water. Next is a probiotic. I started doing this, if I'm being honest, just like 2 weeks ago. The one I do is Organic Olivia's probiotics because I trust her. I trust her company, trust her brand, and a straightforward probiotic. You can't go wrong. I noticed around week 32, week 33, my breath, my digestion started slowing down, and that's when I was like, okay, I need to put a probiotic in my in my body, and that's the one I settled on, and I like it and works well. So far so good. Okay, next thing is I started taking Arnica 30C. You know, as you get bigger and your belly gets bigger and your baby is like sitting on your pelvic floor and your cervix and your vagina, it gets a bit swollen and tender down there. And that Arnica really helps with the swelling. So if you're experiencing any swelling, any kind of pain, that Arnica is going to really help. It's Arnica 30C, which was recommended by my midwife. I think the company name is Boron. That's something I started doing in the past 1 week. Something that I started at week 16, as far as nutrition goes, is pregnancy tea, which is called the Nora tea, which has nettle, oat straw, alfalfa, and red raspberry leaf. And that is something I got recommended by my midwife to start taking at 16 weeks, so I did. So what I do is I infuse it overnight in a 32-ounce mason jar, and I drink that 32-ounce mason jar throughout the day. Now, have I been religiously doing it every day since 16 weeks? No. But I would say in the past, like, third trimester, I've amped it up and I drink a 32-ounce jar of that tea every single day. Again, it helps your body absorb magnesium, minerals, potassium. The red raspberry leaf is like a tonic to help tone your uterus. I took red raspberry leaf before I got pregnant, and I kid you not, it is amazing for uterine health. Like, it helps with pain, it helps with PMS, it helps with so many things. And nettle is really, really, really good for you too. These are all things that are super safe to take in pregnancy. It was okayed by my midwife. Just do your research and get the okay by your care provider. But I started that, and I still do it to this day, and it's working really well for me. The next thing, nutrition wise, that I started doing about 3 weeks ago is beet juice. I had slightly low hemoglobin levels and I needed to increase them. So my midwife recommended to juice beets. I'm drinking about 5 beets juice a day right now to increase these hemoglobin levels. And let me tell you, it's working. Is it fun? No. Am I tired of drinking the beet juice? Yes. But is it raising my hemoglobin levels? Yes. So that's part of my diet as well. And throughout this whole pregnancy, I have been super, super meticulous about what I've been putting in my body. Like, my baby wants fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. So I was eating a bunch of berries like strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. In my first trimester, cantaloupe, watermelon, like all the fruit. I wanted all the fruit. And then I was eating a lot of salads, a lot of smoothies, like loved smoothies this pregnancy. Almonds, soaked almonds overnight, mung beans, sprouted mung beans, something I've been having, sweet potatoes, carrots. I was obsessed with carrots for like a phase in my second trimester. I tried to eat something yellow and orange every day, which is something that was recommended by my midwife. I think it helps with the beta carotene and something to do with the bioflavonoids. I'm not sure, but just super meticulous on my nutrition, my hydration, and what I'm putting in my body. So like, I haven't really had much junk food this pregnancy, and the one time I do eat like a Boulder Canyon bag of chips, I just feel weird. Like, the baby's like, nope, mom, I don't want this. So I kind of don't have the appetite for junk food anyway, which has worked out really well for me. Okay, I think that's everything for nutrition. If you have any questions around the nutrition component, please ask me below. There's a lot, and this is all midwife approved, and it works because I've had a really, really gratefully smooth and healthy pregnancy so far. I'm just super grateful, and I owe a lot of this to my meticulous diet. Next thing is the resources. This is like the education component. So some of the books I recommend to read are as follows. Childbirth Without Fear. If there's one book, well, there's 2 books. There's 2 books that I recommend that you read is Childbirth Without Fear, because it talks about the pain, tension, fear cycle and what actually causes pain in birth and childbirth, and that really breaks it down as to why you feel pain. It's that pain, tension, fear cycle. Once you understand that, you will understand what your body's physiologically doing and how to prepare yourself to basically go through labor and the birth of your baby. That is such a good resource, that book. Next book is Ina May's Guide to Childbirth. That's a classic. I feel like every mother to be should read that book. So those are the two books I highly suggest that you read. The next books that I've used personally is the hypnobirthing book, just to understand what hypnobirthing is, which is very similar to the understanding the fear, pain, tension cycle and teaching your body how to relax, turning your mind off. And that has a really good breathing exercises and relaxation techniques that you can use during labor. The next book that I suggest is Birthing from Within, which is more like helping you understand like your fears, and like it has a lot of artwork, a lot of ways to connect to your body and understand like your emotional aspect and your emotional self and where you are in pregnancy, but also like the physical stuff like labor and stuff. And the one thing that I got out of that book is this question: what do I need to know in order to give birth? And to me, when I was able to answer that question, I could then focus on giving myself that knowing. What is it that I need to know in order to give birth? And once I found my answer, it made the whole process of getting all the fear, all the tension, all the like conditioning that I had around childbirth, which I really don't have. Thank God I don't have. I come from a lineage of women who have given birth naturally and have done this for generations and like at home, and so I feel like I have my ancestry to back me up. But just that question really helped me understand what is it that I need to know in order to give birth, and that helped me to like ground into a knowing. Okay, some Instagram account that I really liked is Pain Free Birth on Instagram. There's another one called Badass Mother or Badass Mother Birther. I'm not sure. I'll leave the links to those accounts below. But watching just positive birth stories and watching women give birth and just normalizing it. This is a normal process. This is a natural process. Animals and mammals in the wild are doing this every day. Women have been doing this for thousands of years every day, and just making it a normal, everyday thing in my life. And just watching and listening to positive birth stories is super helpful. The podcast that I recommend that I listen to, I think is called, for birth stories that I really liked, is called the Natural Birth Podcast. There's some really good, powerful birth stories in there that just help you like see birth as a normal process of life. It's a normal thing that you do. And I think the more you can absorb positive birth stories, it helps your like mind be in a certain frame of mind and certain perspective, because your mind's really powerful. What you feed it is how you start to perceive your reality. So I highly suggest that. The other thing is learning about the nervous system. And this is something I already knew how to do because this is my work. Like I walk people through on healing their nervous system and mapping out and understanding their nervous system, and just understanding the parasympathetic and the sympathetic responses of your nervous system will really help you understand what activates a parasympathetic response in you, what activates a sympathetic response in you. And when you're in fear or tension and pain, you're activating the sympathetic response in your nervous system, which is constricting and putting you in a tension or a tight hold, and your heartbeat's elevated, you're in a cortisol response, your adrenaline is rushing, and learning how to activate parasympathetic response, which is calm, which is feeling at ease, which is feeling at home in your body. So doing things that relax and calm you throughout your entire pregnancy is so important. For me, that has been meditation, that has been walking, that has been mindfulness, practicing just observing my thoughts, because fear is not a fact. Fear is just a thought. And I have a few videos on my channel talking about fear. Just go ahead and search, and maybe I'll put one up here that you can watch. But when you understand that you're not your thoughts, you're not what you think, you're the observer of your thoughts, you don't have to take your thoughts so seriously. You don't take your mind so seriously. And practicing mindfulness has been really big and really pivotal for me for my entire life. So I plan on using that during labor and birth as well. And I think the last thing is learning how to emotionally regulate yourself when you are in a fight, flight, or freeze or fawn response. Again, when your nervous system is dysregulated. Again, this is like big work right here, but there's some amazing resources like books by Peter Levine. I have a bunch of videos on my YouTube channel about it. I have a bunch of podcast episodes about it. You can look into the work of Deb Dana, learning about the polyvagal theory, if you want to like really get into it. And then lastly is journaling out my fears. That has been really helpful because just voicing my fears to my husband or in my journal has helped me like just kind of get them out of my system and just like offload them and be like, this is a fear, it's not a fact, and I can like change how I interact with this fear, my relationship with this fear, and what impact this fear has on me. Because fear is not real, it's not truth, it's not like the ultimate truth, it's just a way of perceiving something. And if you can change how you perceive something from a fearful way to a more empowering way, that's up to you to do. Like that, you have the power to do that, and you use your mind to do that. So journaling is a good way for you to understand your fears and work through them and start shifting them into more empowering, supportive thought processes and beliefs and ways of thinking about something. And this is about anything in life, not just childbirth. It could be about anything. Okay. And the other thing that not really a resource that I did during this pregnancy is keep a pregnancy journal. Just to document this journey emotionally, mentally, physically, nutrition, weight gain, belly stretching, belly growing, all the stuff of pregnancy in one place. Put my pictures in it. Just like a little memory book for me and my journey that I've been on in the past 9 months. And that could be a good resource and a good way for you to get really intimate with your body, your baby, and the journey of pregnancy that you're on. And it will help you kind of get more excited and more like in tune with what's happening as you journey into motherhood and you journey into growing this beautiful child in your womb. Okay, we're at the last section, which is exercise. So I've been doing 3 things. I started off by doing like more HIIT style cardio workouts from this YouTube account called Nourish Move Love. They have some amazing prenatal videos that I did. And then I moved more into prenatal yoga, and I used this specific yoga video that I really, really like. And it's like 30 minutes long, and it walks you through this like series of asanas or poses that really help open your pelvic floor, get your heart rate up, connect with your baby, and just kind of get your body moving and flowing. And all the poses that you're doing are kind of really preparing you for childbirth. So I'll leave the link to that video in the description. And the last YouTube account that I have been using during this pregnancy is called Pregnancy and Postpartum TV. I've been following her exercises in terms of stretching and prenatal yoga exercises, and that's been a really good resource. And as I've gotten bigger and entered my 3rd trimester, I've been really resorting to stretching and prenatal yoga and lots of walking because that's all I have, the strength or the energy to do. And you will slow down, and that's okay. And it's important to listen to your body. So that's like the summary of everything. I'm so out of breath, and I'm so sorry if I started talking really fast through the end because I just wanted to get through this. And yeah, that's been everything. I hope I didn't forget anything. I probably did, but that's okay. Yeah, I think that's everything. So if you have any questions as you watch this video, please ask them in the comments below. Come hang out with me over on Instagram at Kajal S. Pandey. Join my Substack community, the Journal of KP. If you want a more intimate look into my life and my journey into motherhood, which is what I'll be documenting over on my Substack, which is subscriber supported community, and join me over there. The link will be in the description. And if you're pregnant currently, then I'm sending you so much love and happy journeying on this beautiful time in your life, and know that you are deserving of the birth that you want. And I hope you have a beautiful, easy, just fulfilling pregnancy journey. All right, that's everything from me. Take care. Stay open.